Hello YouTube, Louis Pate with Cruisaloo Outdoors. I want to go over my kayak. It's a 2017 Ascend 12T. Now I looked at a lot of YouTube videos about modifying kayaks. You know, things that I thought were neat, some things I didn't think were neat. And a lot of the ideas came off YouTube or the different kayak Facebook websites. And some of the stuff I came up with myself. I want to show you what I've done, and I'm going to tell you right up front, I don't have a lot of money, so I can't go out and buy all the whiz-bang things that are out there, because anything that says kayak on it, it's twice as much as what would be for a regular boat. So, starting at the front of the boat, I'll show you my anchor trolley system. It just consists of some pad eyes, quick links, pulleys. The pulleys and the quick links and the paracord all came from Home Depot or Lowe's, along with the ring and the ratchet clip. And I have one on both sides, and I think I have about $15 tied up in both of them. So that worked right out. I have added some, I got these down at a little kayak rendezvous a couple weeks ago in Newport News. Yak Attack paddle holders, and you can see what I'm using the two front ones for. And I have them here that holds my mud anchor. Moving into my mud anchor, that is a tree stake, 9 foot long, from again Home Depot or Lowe's. Glued a 3/4 PVC T on it as a handle, and I use it, this ring right here, with this. This is a retractable dog leash we had laying around, and I just clip it right to it, and I got about 15 feet of play there. In conjunction with this, there's my brush anchor, and you can go buy a brush anchor that says a kayak on it. Pay 15 bucks for it. This is a woodworking clamp from Walmart. It's 99 cents. I drilled it, put the ring on it, now I have a brush anchor. My rod holders. These are Scotty rod holders. They work for me. I know there's others out there. I like the rocket launchers, and I eventually may get a couple, but for right now, these work. And I made these little gearhead adapters. The slide, that's simply a toilet mount bolt and a piece of PVC, and there you go. You can see how the Scotty rod holder fit right in it. If you want to know how I made it, just, you know, let me know and I'll show you, but there's videos out there how to make them. But the reason that I have both, I have the hard mount and these. If I'm fishing for small fish, panfish, I do that a lot. I like to fish for panfish. I'll use these because it's convenient. But if I'm going to troll or fish for catfish, I mounted the hard mounts in. So I'm covered either way. My little live bait well, as you can see, it's homemade too. It's got a little bubble box on it. Nice little aerator in it. And it works good for what it is. Eventually, I'm going to internal wire this entire kayak. That motor will be in the hole, and it will just simply have a hose that I bring out and plug into this for when I'm using it. When I'm not, I'll just use a piece of Velcro, strap it in right here somewhere out of the way. I'm good to go. My fish finder is a Garmin Striker 4X, portable, and I like the way it works, but I don't care for the mount or sit in the bag there, because it's just kind of in my way. Now, I made a pedestal mount in my track, and I found that when I was fishing with it for the first time in that last weekend, that it was constantly in my way. I was either hitting it with my leg, or if I got it up here, I was hitting it with the paddle. Not good either way. So eventually it's going to end up probably being mounted on the hatch cover here. But I don't want it to be in the way of my live well when I'm using it. So I'm still figuring out what I'm going to do. And the transducer right now, I used the suction cup mount that came with it, but I extended it with this piece of PVC. It's not wet, so it's not sticking to the boat real good. But with it like this, some places that I fish, I have to literally drag the boat through the woods or what have you. So I don't want my transducer getting messed up. So once I'm in the water, I can slap this on the side of the boat, and if I'm paddling along and I need to get through lily pads or there's rocks coming up or something, I can reach down and flip it right up out of the way. No harm, no foul. Z-cleats on both sides of the boats. They're usable. You can see here I didn't broke this one, so I'm going to have to put a new one on. But depending upon the situation, when I'm anchored off, I'll use them or the anchor trolley. Just depends on the wind and the current and whatnot. That kind of covers that side of the boat. Now, my seat are raised up by using two 4-foot pieces that are cut to length of 1 inch by 3/16 aluminum. And I just drilled the seat itself, put the eye bolts in it. The Ascend has some riv nuts in it where they use to cast the boat. There's one on each side. So I put an eye bolt there, turnbuckle, lock my seat down. In the back, I had the same setup with a piece of paracord loop that I had my turnbuckle going to, but I took them off to use them for something this winter and don't know what I did with them. So I got to go get a couple more turnbuckles. But anyway, that way my seat is locked to the kayak. It's not going anywhere, but if I'm camping and want to take the seat out, loosen up the turnbuckle, snatch the seat out, and do what I want to do. Now my rod holder, I see a lot of guys, and I did too. I built it on about a 30-degree angle, the first one. Well, I found that it makes it hard to get the rods out that way. And I also built it out of 1-inch PVC. Some of my bait casters and most of my saltwater stuff wouldn't fit, or they would fit, but they were really hard to get in and out. So I made this one out of 1.5 inches down to 1 inch where it mounts in the boat. And as you can see, that also doubles as my trolling motor mount. Works good. You can see I don't have any issues as far as clearance with the boat. I made my little GoPro mount out of PVC that I had laying around. It works. This crate came from Walmart. It was a folding style. I zip tied it up where it won't fold. It works back here, but I've found that it's pretty much worthless because I can't get to anything. Even if the rod holder's not in the way, I've got to turn around and get all funky to get anything that's back here. So I think that's probably coming out of here. My battery for my trolling motor, it's on the small side for a deep cycle. It's a Duracell AGM 12-volt 35 amp hour battery. That should be plenty to run that little 17-pound thrust trolling motor pretty much all day, as long as I'm not running wide open. My little anchor light right there is again from Walmart. I think that little lantern cost me about $7. Runs off 3 AAA batteries, or AA, I'm sorry. And I put batteries in it last year and it's still going strong. It's got 2 settings, bright and not so bright. And the mount that it's on is just an old piece of surf rod. And you know, it ain't pretty, but it works. So, but I want to tell you about something I've got going on. This is going to change. It's going to be mounted on the stern of the boat. And once it's mounted, it's going to have electric steering, remote forward, reverse, and speed, and the ability to pick itself up out of the water. And the mount that we're designing will mount on the back of the boat. It's going to be kind of a universal thing so that other folks can do it too. And we take your trolling motor and make our mount work with it. But it's spring loaded and it'll pop up if you hit something with it. And you have the ability to pull it horizontal, get it up out of the way for stowage or whatever you're doing. So, and as right now we're just in the concept phase. We're still using the CAD to design it, but very soon we'll be getting the materials and putting it together, and it's going to be pretty neat. And the way we're making it, for this prototype for my boat, it's going to be wired internally, but we're going to make it where you have the option of doing either or. And like I say, once I get it in the water and finish with the testing with a prototype, we'll know where we're at and where we stand with it. But that's going to make this a much more fishable boat. So, and like I say, we're making it where you can pretty much adapt it to anything. Okay guys, well, I hope you enjoyed my video. I hope you get some ideas from this. If you have some ideas, questions, comments, criticisms, please go to the link below and add them. And remember to hit like and share. My channel's new, and in the future I'll be covering hunting, fishing. I do some tactical stuff, rifle, pistol, and shotgun, and maybe even some music videos, because I do a little bit of that too. But again, it's Louis Pate with Cruisaloo Outdoors. Y'all have a great day.